Hey guys, and welcome back into yet another WWE Raw review for August 8th, 2016. Tonight's Raw came to us from Anaheim, California. We'll get right into the show now, though, guys. So Enzo and Cass, they come out, start the show. It's the second straight week that Enzo has got an opportunity to open up Raw. And being that I'm a big Enzo fan, I think that's pretty cool. I think he does a really good job on the mic, and I think he's pretty good in the ring, too. A really cool personality, and just always a bundle of energy. He comes out, though, and starts talking about how him and Sasha clicked last week. They had tremendous chemistry, and that if it wasn't for Jericho, you know, that things may have happened between the two of them. And after that, Jericho comes out, and Jericho starts throwing insults Enzo's way. Starts saying that if it wasn't for Cass having his back at all times, you know, he'd get squashed like a bug by everybody, pretty much. But he says, you know, now I have somebody that can defend my back. And he introduces Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens comes out. And Jericho and Owens are two guys that I think are pretty good on the mic. And they're both pretty good wrestlers. Particularly Kevin Owens. But I like them two together, to be honest. Feels kind of random, I would think, to most people, because it does to me. But I do like it. And they get in the ring, and the four of them are standing there. They're all exchanging insults back and forth. And basically everything that Owens and Jericho say is directed at Enzo at first. Then Owens goes on to say to Big Cass that, you know, down in NXT, you know, he was a big fan of him. But as time went on, he became less and less of a fan of his. Which I thought was cool, to talk back to the old days before they were on WWE television. But it goes into a match between Enzo Amore and Chris Jericho. This match was pretty good. I mean, it was a Raw match. It was certainly not pay-per-view quality, but for Raw, it was a pretty good match. Jericho wins by DQ when Big Cass comes in and hits the boot on Jericho. Kevin Owens was getting involved throughout the match. He got involved like 3 or 4 different times. And but of course, all the times that Kevin Owens got involved, it's Big Cass getting involved once that causes the DQ. So Jericho gets the win, which is good because I think we all think that Enzo and Cass will get the win at SummerSlam. At least that's the way I feel about it. So that was pretty good. I liked the segment. Enzo and Cass, Chris Jericho, and Kevin Owens. I like all 4 of them. So with all 4 of them being in a segment, I enjoyed it. And then we have a backstage segment with Sasha and Foley. Foley says if Sasha wins tonight, it will be a 1-on-1 at SummerSlam with Charlotte. But if she loses, it'll be a 2-on-1 handicap match. So Sasha's facing Dana Brooke tonight, and that's the stipulations going into the match. I thought that was good. I like that. It makes the match tonight feel more important, so I liked it. Then we have Braun Strowman, guys. Braun Strowman, yet again. Tonight he takes on Jarrell Nelson. Jarrell Nelson got an intro, which was a bit odd. To actually see one of these guys that he's facing get an intro. But the match, in my opinion, was the weakest of all 3. This match was garbage. It wasn't even a match. It lasted 14 seconds. And Braun, I'm just making up that time, but it felt like 14 seconds. Braun Strowman hits the dumbest fucking move in the WWE. He hits the reverse choke slam on Jarrell Nelson, and this move looked weak. If you didn't see this match, go back. I mean, it's only 14 seconds or so. Go back and look. He literally just picks him up. And he just, like, tosses him. And Jarrell Nelson, like, fell on his shoulder. It didn't look weak at all. It didn't land on his face. Braun Strowman sucks. I've come to that conclusion now after the last 3 weeks. I hate him. Can't stand his stupid theme song. Sounds stupid. He's stupid. Don't like him. Rather see Mark Henry. Then we have Titus O'Neil versus Darren Young. Rematch of last week where Titus won by rolling up on the tights. This week, Darren Young wins, and what a shock. He wins by rolling up on the tights. I didn't mind this just because really anything they do with these guys I don't care because I'm not into it. I like Titus. I don't like Darren Young. But, you know, I guess it made sense to have... I mean, I know Darren's the face, but he just, you know, giving Titus back what he did last week. So that was fine. For some reason, Bob Backlund was turned the other way when Darren Young did it, so he didn't see that Darren cheated to win. But whatever. I mean, I don't even think... Maybe this is a SummerSlam pre-show match. God damn, I think he's falling down. Maybe this is a SummerSlam pre-show match, but who knows. If it's not, it's just a big waste of time. But when you got 3 hours of TV to fill every week, they got to find some stuff like this. whatever. I like when Titus wins more. Then we have Seth Rollins comes out, and he cuts a promo on Finn Balor. We got no Finn Balor tonight. Anybody else notice that? Where the hell was Finn Balor? We got like a promo from him, like a recorded thing, but where the hell was he? That I had a problem with. I mean, maybe something came up and I don't know. And if that's the case, then fine. Certainly that's excusable. But they didn't say, at least not that I heard. Maybe I missed it. But from what I heard, they didn't say where Finn Balor was. If I missed it, I look like an idiot right now. But either way, Seth Rollins came out tonight, and I thought he cut a pretty good promo. Talked again about how Finn Balor is just a second-rate version of him. Cheap ripoff, if you will. Says that he explains what Finn Balor means and all this. And I thought Seth Rollins did a pretty good job. Cracked some jokes in there, and I thought he did really well. I like Seth Rollins, and I think he's improving. He's improved tremendously on the mic over the course of time, and I like him. And the match between the two, like I've said before, is going to be good. So I'm into it. They got me invested. I'm ready for the match. And we got Sheamus versus Cesaro for the second straight week. This match was actually pretty good, especially for a Raw match. I thought it was good quality. Cesaro, and it got a pretty good time, too, as do most matches that are good. Cesaro wins with the roll-up. The ref got knocked down during the match. So Sheamus goes for the pin, but the ref's knocked down. Sheamus goes to hit Cesaro in the back of the head, and in the front of the head, and he hits the ref in the back of the head. The ref goes down. Cesaro goes for the pin. The ref can't count. He gets pissed at the ref, starts yelling at him, and then meanwhile Cesaro rolls him up from behind for the pin. And of course now the ref's ready. I like that Cesaro gets the win. I really like Cesaro. One of my favorite in-ring workers in the company. But it was a good match. Then we have Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar promo. It was like a recorded promo. And I thought it was pretty good, talking about, Heyman was involved too, talking about how since they came in at the same time from OVW that they're on the same level, and Brock saying, no, they're not. I'm a mega superstar while Randy Orton's just a superstar. Orton saying, how all it's going to take is one RKO at SummerSlam. I would have liked to have seen them in person, the two of them, cut a promo in the ring. But this was okay. I think we'll get that next week, hopefully. I feel like, again, they're doing a good job building up the match, and I am invested into it. Then we have the Dudley Boys taking on Neville and Sin Cara. This match was not anything special. Neville and Sin Cara win when Neville hits the red arrow on Devon. I have a gut feeling that Neville and Sin Cara are going to become a tag team now. They don't really have much to do with these two guys as far as in a single wrestling right now. They're both good workers. They're both fast-paced. They have similar styles, so I wouldn't be surprised to see these guys grouped together as a tag team. Let me know if you think that would be a good tag team. I think it would be. I think it'd be exciting matches at the very least. But the poor Dudley Boys, again, another loss. Another thing that annoyed me during the match was the damn "We Want Tables" chant. I mean, I understand this was what the chant that used to go on back in the day, but they chant this every single time the Dudleys have a match, and it's just fucking annoying. Yes, 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 we want tables, we want tables, we want tables. The Dudleys suck now. You're not getting no stinking tables. That was just something that annoyed me. Then we have the Rusev and Lana, like a wedding segment. They're come out, they talk about how their wedding was so great. It was mostly Lana. She did a lot of the talking. Then they show clips of their wedding and being on the beach and stuff. They insult Americans, saying how the cakes, because there's a thing of cakes laid out in the back, on a table, and they say that the cakes cost more than what most of us make in a month. Just insulting Americans. Then Reigns comes out, says you have no best man. I want to be your best man. Says he wants to have a toast. Rusev declines it. Then he says, then we're going to have a U.S. title match at SummerSlam. Rusev declines it. Then he proceeds to make the toast anyways. Sends some insults towards Rusev. Says he didn't satisfy Lana on the night of their wedding. Rusev gets pissed. They start attacking each other. Ends up getting Roman Reigns, shoves Rusev. He hits into Lana. Lana's face goes into the cake, and she goes ballistic. That was actually pretty funny. I thought Reigns did a pretty good job on the mic. He was trying to come across as a funny, and honestly, normally I don't like when he tries to do that, but I thought in this one segment he pulled it off pretty well. I did find it to be kind of funny, and I enjoyed it. Lana did a really good job on the mic, like she always does. Sold things really well. I like this segment. And then Foley makes backstage with Rusev, makes the match for SummerSlam. So it's going to be Reigns versus Rusev at SummerSlam for the U.S. title. Then we have Sasha Banks taking on Dana Brooke. And this match really wasn't anything special. Sasha Banks wins with the double knee. Charlotte didn't really get involved. It felt kind of anticlimactic. There really wasn't... it was just like Sasha won. You know, I expected there to be more before Sasha won. More interaction, more obstacles that she had to overcome, but there really wasn't. But I'm happy Sasha wins, and the match against Charlotte should be really good at SummerSlam. Then we have Kofi Kingston taking on Luke Gallows. Apparently, Big E's injured from getting his groin smashed into the, what do you call it? What the fuck is it? Not the turnbuckle. The, steel post. God dang, I couldn't think of what it was called. The steel post. And they basically say they're going to start doing this every week. They try to make it a funny segment as doctors with Big E's balls in a little glass, but I didn't find it to be that funny. Those guys don't strike me as funny. But this match was another one that really wasn't anything special. Kofi did a few high-flying moves and whatever, but Gallows wins. He pins Kingston and whatever. You know, it builds into the match at SummerSlam. They're teasing that maybe Big E won't be there and it'll just be Xavier and Kofi. But I think what's going to happen is Big E won't be there next week either, but he'll show up for SummerSlam. But that's just my opinion. Then we have Foley and Bryan in the ring. They're kind of going at it because Bryan, I guess, made a comment on somewhere on the WWE Network that making fun of the Raw Universal title and all this. And Foley said basically that's disrespectful. Then Rusev comes out and he's bitching, saying that we do have a champion on Raw. We have me on the U.S. title, and if anybody else comes from SmackDown, I'll take them out. Then Cesaro comes out. And this was like, whoa, this was a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. But he comes out and says, you know, he won the match against Sheamus last week where he was guaranteed a title shot, and so it's going to be tonight. My thing is, okay, fine, this will be a good match. But my problem is, I thought the whole Sheamus match was for the eventual Universal title. That match for a title shot was for the U.S. title. You know, why would Cesaro, when he has a chance to wait like 2 weeks and then say, you know, I won that match, I want to fight for the Universal title, why would he come out and waste it in a match for the U.S. title? That made no sense to me. It was like the show's too long, we don't have enough depth on the roster. Finn Balor wasn't even there, so we had to make something for the main event match, and it just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Now granted, anytime you could see Cesaro in the main event, I'm for it, but it just didn't make sense. Rusev wins, with a kick to the back of the head. When Sheamus comes out and causes a distraction, that could be another pre-show match. Maybe Sheamus and Cesaro. Maybe it'd actually be on the card. I don't know. They tend to have a lot of pre-show matches, especially for the big pay-per-views. So we'll see. I would certainly say that Cesaro deserves more than the pre-show, so hopefully it is on the show. But then Reigns comes out after while Rusev's walking up the ramp and spears him, so just more continuation of their little feud. Overall, I thought this was a decent Raw, better than last week, but not as good as 2 weeks ago. Somewhere in the middle. What did I give last week's Raw? I think I gave it a 3 out of 10, and the previous Raw before that I get a 5 or an 8. So this week, I like the Enzo and Cass, I like Jericho and Owens. I liked Rollins' promo. I like Sheamus and Cesaro's match. I'll give this Raw... What should I give it, guys? I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I wanted to say 6, but the main event just felt too goofy for me. Didn't make a lot of sense. But it's overall a 5 out of 10 Raw. It was passable. I'm excited for next week's Raw, the last one going into SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam is going to have some great matches, despite the last 2 ratings of Raw. We're going to have some good matches at SummerSlam. I think that's a sure thing. But, yeah, 5 out of 10 Raw this week. Not great, not horrible, pretty average, pretty meh. But I'll be back next week for another Raw review. And I'll also be back tomorrow night for a SmackDown review. So thanks for checking in, guys. See ya.